sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day. They're the eyes of a man whose lust knows no bounds.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Horny Creek. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
How much has been a good week here? It's November 29th, 2000.
It is.
And it's time for some kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Just sounds so dirty.
It does, but this is Horny Creek.
Hey, I have a off-topic question, though.
Oh my God, okay.
Yesterday, when I was hanging out with my friends, they said that my voice reminds them of a Disney princess and that they would follow me into the woods.
How much were you drinking last night?
So I want to know, does my voice remind you of a Disney princess, and would you follow me into the woods?
Well, I'd follow you anywhere, Carol. Does your voice remind me of a Disney princess?
They said it was so like sweet and happy, and like I don't think I sound like that.
Your voice sounds more like Jessica Rabbit's to me.
Thank you.
Than a Disney princess.
That's how I would like to believe my voice sounds.
I don't know if that's just when we're recording. Maybe when you're, I don't know, doing maybe when you're doing whippets with your friends or whatever the fuck you guys were doing.
We were talking about whippets yesterday too.
Nice. Maybe your voice gets up there. I don't know. I mean, a Disney princess voice is higher like this.
When I was like 12, I you know, before I smoked cigarettes, like I sounded pretty.
You were
pretty
more
scary,
Disney
scarily squeaky.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Scary.
Scarily squeaky.
Scarily carily. What do I sound like a Disney prince?
I thought you were going to say princess. Yes, you do actually.
Do I?
You do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're supposed to just sound hot. They're like generic hot guy.
To the castle.
Right.
Well, like, I don't know, what, like Prince Eric? Then one of them's a lion. I'm trying to think of Disney princesses.
Prince Charming.
Prince Charming, sure.
From both Cinderella and Snow White, I believe both contain a Prince Charming.
Yeah. I think Sleeping Beauty is Prince Charming, maybe, right?
Do you think Prince Charming's like a Mormon? No. Yeah, you're right. Sleeping Beauty is Prince Charming. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets around.
You said Snow White and Cinderella. I think Cinderella, I don't know that he's just the generic prince. The guys never have names.
Right? How sexist.
Yeah. Eric was the first one to get a name in the movie where the girl couldn't talk and she was this dream woman.
Yeah, well, he was like a main character. That's one of the first times that happened, and he wasn't just there at the end.
I guess that's true.
So
anyway, well, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I probably sound
he
like
wasn't a prince.
I probably sound like him.
Quasimodo? No, you got a sexy voice.
Anyway, so speaking of sexy voices,
Yes.
this opens with a sexy film
Okay. There's screaming.
by A.I. Brooks.
I remember the screaming.
Is that supposed to be like is that an allusion to Albert Brooks?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if
AKA
Albert Brooks is.
AKA Albert Einstein. We first of all, I'm sorry. You don't know who Albert Brooks is. Yes, you do.
Okay.
Remember that movie Defending Your Life we watched? He starred and directed that. Remember, we did The Muse, remember?
Yeah.
With Sharon Stone.
Okay.
That was him, too.
But I don't remember who belongs to names and vice versa.
His real name's Albert Einstein, which I think I brought up when we talked about The Muse.
Okay.
Because his brother is Bob Einstein, a.k.a. Super Dave Osborne. And they named their kids, the Einsteins, named their kids Robert and Albert. If your name's Einstein, why are you naming your kid Albert Einstein? So he took the name Brooks. I don't know why, but that's his Hollywood name, Albert Brooks.
I'd do it.
You do what, Albert Brooks?
No. Ew. I would name my...
He is not a super attractive dude.
I would name my kids Albert if our last name were Einstein.
How would you?
I think that would be fun. I get it.
So if we have a child, and if our first child is a boy, can we name him Philip?
No. That's not fun.
I won't tell you what our last name is.
All right. Enough of the weirdness.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
This opens with with an AI Brooks.
Yeah, it's like a black and white pulp noir-y kind of
Yeah,
thing.
because he wrote everything he wrote, or did everything he did in the 50s.
So, like, it's trying to fool us for a minute, I guess, in the beginning, where, like, we don't fully see Pacey's hot sister
Are we watching a season 1 episode? Is this Joey?
But, yeah, she's been replaced. Mm-hmm. And I really think that's generally what's happening here.
I don't know that they were necessarily trying to fool us. I feel like the way they filmed it, with them watching the movie and Dawson sitting on the ground, you see Dawson first and everything. I think the way they filmed it is to mimic the way they used to film those openings with Joey, and like, you know, the reveal of her face and everything is to reinforce Joey has been replaced.
Yep.
With Pacey's hot sister.
She is hot.
Yeah.
Although Katie Holmes is also hot.
Yeah, I agree.
Which one's hotter?
I think Pacey's hot sister's hot.
Do you?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Scene to scene, you could. I honestly think that Michelle Williams is the most attractive of the people on the show.
Yeah, she's a Marilyn Monroe type. Mm-hmm. But like Katie Holmes is a classic beauty.
Well, at one point, I'm sorry.
And Pacey's sister is just, you know, she's like sexy, sultry, hot. You know, yeah. Okay.
At one point, Pacey says something like, "I'm the only one that gets to walk down the stairs at this party with Audrey Hepburn." Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I'm like, she does look like Audrey Hepburn. Like, I mean, like, it's not like she looks exactly like Audrey Hepburn or whatever, but she has the same kind of, like, the same sort of face, the same kind of frame, you know, like, they don't look exactly alike, but, like, if I was casting these people as famous actors and actresses, I'd cast her as Audrey Hepburn. As you mentioned, I'd cast Michelle Williams as Marilyn Monroe. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I'd cast Pacey as, like, Clark Gable or something like that, you know. Maybe who's the other one I'm thinking of? Not Gary Cooper.
I don't.
Cary Grant. I'd cast him as Cary Grant, and I'd probably cast Dawson as I can't think of his name, but William Holden. I'd probably cast him as William Holden.
I can't picture him, but that's cool.
He died from exsanguination. Anyway, so. But speaking of blood, there's some blood at the end of whatever movie they're watching. Okay,
I just finished reading Carrie, so yeah, blood.
Anyway, so he's like, they have a discussion. Pacey's sister. I can't remember her name. I've been calling her Pacey's hot sister.
Gretchen.
So Gretchen. Okay, thank you.
She looks like a Gretchen too.
Yeah, she does. So Gretchen and Dawson are talking about this movie, and Dawson is like just gushing about how great this film is. Mm-hmm. And Gretchen is like, Yeah,
she didn't really like it. He says it's the work of a genius.
Yeah. He's like, he says it has this like pulp like veneer, and at the center of it is a big thumping heart, he says.
Yep, it's a love story. So,
which is intended or unintended? I don't know.
What do you mean?
From what we find out later, that there's a love story at the heart of this.
Yeah.
But did Brooks, Mr. Brooks, did he write these movies too?
Sounds like it.
Because I get the feeling that he wrote and directed them, which is just crazy. Like that was not a thing in the 50s in Hollywood. Like that was not a very common thing. There were writers and most of the directors were like the director for hire kind of person. The auteur theory, like the look of the director as like the main voice of a movie didn't really come into place until the 70s. Okay. Like with Spielberg and George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese, all the new Hollywood, all those people that came out of that. Like in the 50s and 60s, it was like you hired a director, like the studio was the main force behind the picture, or whatever. As he calls them, the pictures.
He makes Dawson call them pictures.
But anyway, so she says something like, it's like Quentin Tarantino does this so much better or whatever, this kind of stuff. And Dawson's like, well, that's my point. He's like ahead of his time, which if you're comparing a movie from the 50s to a Tarantino film, that would be.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
would be way ahead of its time.
So yeah, he's looking at it from a different kind of lens than she's just, a regular teenager watching a 50s movie.
So he goes to talk to Mr. Brooks, and he talks about how fucking great his movie is and everything. And he's like, wow, get the fuck out of here. You suck.
Yeah, he's so mean to him always. I don't like it.
He pushes people away. He has been wounded and hurt. And so he pushes people away.
Because he just assumes everybody will hurt him.
Yeah.
That's sad.
There's not a lot to this storyline, really. I mean, there's a lot of emotional weight behind it, but it's not there's not a lot of screen time given to it. Because he talks to Gretchen and he's like, hey, she's like, why don't you make movies anymore? She kind of challenges him with that. She's like, you used to love, when I left, you were like this staggering genius that wouldn't be stopped. And
well, she called him a little dork with a camera.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But she's like, you were so determined and everything and making your movies all the time and stuff. And now it's like, you don't do or talk about that anymore at all. And he's like, he's had a crisis of faith, he says. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're talking about two different things when they're talking about this. She says something like, like film is like your lady or whatever, and and he's talking about how he's been hurt and his lady has hurt him and stuff like that. And I feel like he's talking about Joey.
Yeah.
And she's talking about movies.
Yeah. Agreed. And then, so they have that conversation, which is, obviously getting him thinking more. And then he goes back to Brooks.
Yeah. And he's like, I need advice. And for a minute, they are nice to each other.
Yeah. Well, Brooks is trying to be nice.
Yeah.
He's bad at it. It's kind of like watching Beast and Beauty and the Beast trying to be nice to Belle. Because he is. He's trying, but he's fucking it up all over the place.
Right.
And Dawson just loses his patience. He doesn't acknowledge any of the effort that the old man's putting into it.
I get it, though. He's annoyed because he wants to be serious for once, and they're still doing their, oh, you're a useless little pup, aren't you, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm having a crisis of faith, and he's like, a little young to be having a crisis of faith, aren't you, you fucking asshole?
Yeah. So he doesn't help him at all.
No, because he says to him, he's like, I want to know, I need to know why you stopped making movies. Mm-hmm. Because I have stopped making movies. And he's like, oh, what a loss. Something like that. And he's like, and I want to know what I can do to get out of that, basically. So
then, in the background of this episode,
which we'll get to in more in depth, but yeah.
Gretchen has begged the Learys to let her throw a Christmas party at their house. Yeah, because this is something they used to do all the time.
Yeah, it's a big Cape Side tradition, I guess, for them to host this Christmas party, and they haven't for the last few years because they've been not together.
Right.
But Gretchen, who only knows the old ways, wants to, this gets her in the Christmas spirit to have this party. So she's like, I'll do everything.
Yeah. So they're throwing this party, and Brooks shows up at Dawson's house during the party because he's decided that he's going to tell him.
Yeah.
Seems like really convenient timing.
Right.
And I'm sorry, this old dude is not going to come out it was dark out, late at night, to be like, oh, let me answer your questions that I didn't want to talk to you about earlier. The whole thing's fucked up.
He loves Dawson.
He does. I agree. But I just don't think that this fits his character. I think this conversation would have been better in the morning if they ran into each other somewhere, that's all. I think it's a little extra effort on his part that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, probably not. But he's basically he says that the studio convinced him to make this movie. Because Dawson at one point, too, before this, is it's undeniable chemistry between the two lead actors. Like, how did you even pull that off? And he's like, the studio made him or convinced him to make this picture with his best friend and his girl in the lead role. Mm-hmm. So he's like, and I was so busy with my movie, I didn't see what was happening right before my eyes. And it's like, so his girlfriend and his best friend were falling in love, and she ended up leaving him. And he's like, and he had to finish the movie with her breaking up with him, breaking his heart, and these two like falling in love with each other on screen, and it made him hate making movies.
This poor guy. Like, what an awful thing to have to go through.
So he gave up after that. Which
is, similar-ish to what's happened with Dawson, although he didn't have to watch it on the movie.
No, but Pacey and Joey were both in movies that he'd made, and that's his best friend and his girl, and they fell in love with each other. It's like, it's weird how... If I was Dawson, I'd almost be like, am I in a TV show? Like, I'm surprised he didn't say that, because it's a weird parallel.
It is.
That there's this old version of him who, like, loved making movies, was good at it, gave up making movies because his best friend and his girlfriend fell in love with each other, and he never did anything outside of that. I mean, if Dawson somehow had siblings, he's about to have a sibling, that stole money from him or whatever for a business.
Right.
It would be the ultimate. I guess that's what I would say to Dawson. Watch out for your little brother or sister asking you for money for businesses.
For sure.
In the future.
So then Mr. Brooks decides to come in to the party. He's invited to come in.
At first he's like, no, I'm not coming in or whatever. And then like he tells him the story and everything, and Dawson's like touched that he confides him and stuff. And he's like, Mr. Brooks, come in. Come on. So then he does come into the party and sits at a piano for most of the time. But he sees Grams, and they have some flirtatiousness going back and forth.
She is a very pretty older woman.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's like even being, I don't know, in her like late 60s, early 70s, whatever. You can tell that she's beautiful. Like a lot of times, people age, it kind of gets stolen. Not her.
Yeah,
she's lucky.
But yeah, so they kind of flirt back and forth, and Dawson calls him out.
He's like, "Were you flirting with Gramps?" And he's like, "If I were flirting, you'd know it. You should have been taking notes or something."
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, all right, what are we gonna do now?
Well, let's talk about the party since
okay.
I mean, I guess
there's really not much more to say about the party. Like, what's her face? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gretchen is looking for Dawson at the beginning of the party, and goes and finds him in his room because Joey had mentioned to her that her memory of these parties were just her and Dawson hanging out in his room. Mm-hmm. And so Gretchen goes up and convinces him to come down. Yeah. And he had been helping her set up for the party earlier in the episode. And
she set up a mistletoe because it's tradition.
Which, like, I was expecting something to happen when they were putting it up. Because, like, obviously, if they put it up together, they're under it then, too.
Yeah. I guess that maybe that's an exception to the rule. I don't know. But there's a lot of tension in this episode. And, so they're talking or whatever, and they happen to be under the mistletoe. And Mr. Brooks is like, wow, are you going to kiss her or what? And they look up, and she's like, oh, because she had said earlier,
don't monkey around with tradition. Yeah. I think that's what she said.
Yeah. And so they kiss, and it's a very intense kiss.
Yeah, it's just like goes on and on.
And then Joey and Pacey come in.
Because they're coming late to the party for other reasons we'll talk about.
Which we'll talk about. But this is how the episode ends. But they see it, and it's like...
Yeah, they're both very floored.
I expected Pacey to pull a gun out of his pocket and shoot them. Which would be the bang bang portion
right?
of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Pacey looks a lot more upset than Joey. I feel like Joey is mostly over Dawson at this point. Like, she's shocked, but it doesn't seem like she's really upset.
Yeah.
Pacey is upset.
Because it's his sister.
Yeah.
And they share a house.
Yeah. That's true.
So he's going to have to hear Dawson.
Oh, jeez. Why'd you got to go there?
But yeah, they seem very upset, and that's the culmination of the night, I guess.
Yeah. So, also earlier in the episode, like the beginning of the episode, basically, Joey is talking to her boss, who is Drew's mom, the bitch.
Yeah, she's eating lunch, I think, or something like that, or she's reading or something.
Yeah, she's doing something. Like, she's on her lunch break, I think.
She's 15 minutes early to work.
Oh, yeah,
that's what she mentioned. She's like, my shift doesn't, because she's like, why aren't you fucking in here? I'm not paying you to do that. And she's like, I'm 15 minutes early. My shift doesn't start till whatever, 4 or whatever. So get off my fucking back.
And then some guy comes up.
The guy that played Howard Stringer, the head of CBS in the HBO movie The Late Shift.
Okay.
He and Ed Begley Jr. ran CBS in that movie. But in that movie, he had I guess Howard Stringer is English or Australian because he had a accent in that, and it's weird to hear him. That's the only other thing I've ever seen him in, this actor, and it's weird to hear him without that accent.
Yeah. But he is like asking about some college party that they're having.
She's like, oh, he's like this big important person, Whittier College, I think they said, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking Whittier because Pacey Whitter. I don't know. But it's some college, Whitmore College or something like that. I think it's a made-up college.
Yeah.
But some college that they're having a big party for their best applicants or whatever, right? And she's like, I need you to be a waitress at this party. I was just about to tell Joey that her Saturday off is her Saturday on now because she's going to work this party. And she's like, I can't. And she's like, oh, so you're quitting? And she's like, no, I can't work the party. And she's like, you'll be there. And she's like, yes, I will. But I'm not working the party. And Drew's mom still doesn't get it.
Yeah, she's so stupid.
And she's like, oh, so you're going to work then? And she's like, no, I'm telling you, I am invited to the party. And he goes, oh, you're Josephine Potter. This is one of the greatest applicants we've ever had. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see you at this party.
And she's like, who am I going to get? And she's like, isn't Drew available? So he ends up at the party.
Yeah, like we get one scene of him basically being a waiter and being like, I'll get you back for this, Potter.
I'll get you in your little talk, too.
Exactly.
So then she takes Pacey with her to the party.
Yep.
And he says, like you mentioned earlier, when we're walking, he has this line about walking with Audrey Hepburn. It's just cute. Mm-hmm. And somebody mentioned, like, make sure, I think it's his sister, make sure he's not just, cracking jokes all night or...
Don't make sure he doesn't do his nervous, like, joke cracking
Yeah.
thing.
And he ends up kind of doing that a little.
But he ends up being super charming. Like, he says something, I don't remember exactly what it is, but, like, they all laugh and stuff, and he's like, oh, you're a delight, or whatever, and, like, what a charming young man, and he says, how come you haven't applied to our college? Because you're the exact type of person that we would want. And he's like, well... He goes, my parents are both, like, super liberal, so it's Yale or nothing. Mm-hmm. I didn't know Yale was a big liberal college.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's in Connecticut, I know that. But
And Joey, like, pulls him away to yell at him because she's mad that he lied.
You lied!
I mean, like,
who gives a fuck?
She explained herself, and it still didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like...
How could you lie? It's like, what did you want him to say? Oh, I'm a fuck up that doesn't get good enough grades to go to your college? Like, he doesn't know this dude. Like, what? Like, who cares?
Yeah. But she's I don't like the way she is with him all night. Like, she's very mean and judgmental and herself, like, she's so nervous that she's, like, not engaging in conversation. And he's kind of jumping in and saving her, but she doesn't look at it that way.
Well, I think the whole point is that she's angry at him because... she's projecting onto him all the stuff she is feeling. She's saying, why did you lie? Because she is feeling like he's portraying himself like as a fraud or what he's not. But that's how she feels about herself. Mm. She feels like a fraud in this whole, like, upper crust, like, thing. We don't get a lot of it, but, like, they're poor, right? They're the poor ones. Mm-hmm. But she's academically gifted, so... she can kind of gain entry into this, like, high society type thing. and that's how they're portraying this like college. And she doesn't feel like she belongs because later she's there like on the dock crying, and Howard Stringer from CBS comes and sees her, and she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" You know, and she's like, she talks all about how like she feels like out of place and she's failing and she's not being social like she should be, and she's all nervous and everything. And he's like, you know, your fucking transcript speaks for itself. No one gives a fuck. Like, no, we're not judging you based on like
social skills.
Yeah, how much of a socialite you can be. Like, you're smart, and you're definitely smart enough to come to this college. Like, no one's judging you.
And then he tells her that Pacey just talked the dean's ear off about how wonderful she is and how lucky they'll be to have her. And stuff. So she's freaking out for nothing. And
then they have, which is that's a very Joey thing, freaking out over nothing.
True, very.
And
true.
then her and Pacey have this big heart to heart about like, you know, how they see each other and everything, and I just want them to see you through my eyes and all this
very
shit.
Cute.
So it's like, yeah. It's a whole thing.
And then they decide to go to the party, and then they get scandalized. Yep.
And the only other thing that happens, which I guess also kind of comes to a head at the party, is that Jen and Grams are not talking. They're like, Grams is mad at her, and she's giving her the silent treatments.
2 weeks she hasn't talked to her.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That's nuts.
And she is not putting in her college applications.
Yeah, and
because she doesn't want to go to college because she can't pay for it. That's what it comes out down to, which we don't realize. But her whole thing is she's not going to college because she can't pay for it. She's tried to talk to her parents. They don't want to have anything to do with her. By the way, like, fuck her parents,
right?
Like, they got rid of her because of the whole like drugs and sex and stuff or whatever. I get the thought process of maybe this environment is not good for her and she needs a new environment. And I think the new environment has been good for her.
Sure.
But they don't talk to her, barely visit her. But now that it's time for her to go to college, by the way, they're like, oh, well, we don't need to pay for you anymore. Like, they've totally abandoned her.
Yeah, it's awful.
They live in fucking Manhattan. They have the money.
Oh, absolutely.
Those bastards.
But, you know, like, you could also apply for grants and scholarships. Like, she hasn't even tried to obtain. But I guess she feels like not worth it because that's how her parents treat her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But we find out that Jack and Grams
have filled out her applications for her.
And he apparently got a hold of an essay she had written.
Yes.
And used it, cobbled it together to make an essay for her college application, which doesn't seem possible, truly. Right. But whatever.
But he goes into her computer to find, she's like, where did I apply? Like, at first she's pissed. And then she kind of, like, she understands because, like, they talk to her or whatever. And she's like, so where did I apply? And he's like, oh, I went into your computer and I found all the places that you had been thinking about going and stuff like that. He's like, I also found your journal. I didn't know you were still having those dreams about me.
I don't remember. Did she have a crush on him at first or something?
I think at first, yeah, before it was revealed he was gay.
Oh, yeah, they went on a date. That's how they met.
But Grams says to her, she's like, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, they have this big heart-to-heart. Everyone's having heart-to-hearts in this episode.
Yeah, it's a very emotional episode.
But she says to her, like, it doesn't matter how much I'm mad at you. I'll always love you, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to make sure you get to college, and you don't worry about, like, what it costs and everything.
And she says, I will beg, borrow, and steal
if
for
I have
you.
to fuck Mr. Brooks and take part of his fortune.
Oh, my. I wonder if that's going to happen.
I think they're going to get together for sure.
Sorry, I just imagined things. She's a pretty lady. He is not a pretty man.
But yeah, so that's kind of the resolution of everything in the episode.
Yeah. How many condoms are we giving this episode?
Out of 5, I would say 2.
That's where I was leaning because I mean there's the kiss.
The kiss is carrying a lot of the horniness of the episode. But there's also like some flirtation and stuff between them before that too. Mm-hmm. And then I guess there's the sentimental moment between Joey and Pacey that's setting the stage for horniness, I guess.
And the flirtation between Grams and Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, you can't discount that. So yeah, 2, maybe 2.5.
I wonder if there'll ever be sex again in the show, and then I actually, get like 4 or 5 condoms.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I guess Andy was the whore of the show. She's gone. So.
Well, and I mean, Jen's had sex.
That's true.
But I mean, I feel like she's pretty much just sewed her legs shut at this point. Like,
yeah, it seems like it.
She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't date. Like, she is the biggest stick in the mud.
She is the subject of an Adamant song, that's for sure. But anyway, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own Goody Two Shoes.
You can write us at latefee1994@aol.com. Mm-hmm. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.